What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. So I enjoyed the fight tonight. I was surprised that they only televised one fucking fight. I thought they'd at least show an undercard fight. So I had to DVR it because the fight was pretty much over by the time I got off work. So I just finished. Well, I ate after, and I want to give you guys my post-fight video. And I thought it was an entertaining fight for what it was. Started off a little bit rocky. Both fighters were amped up for different reasons. Edwin Rodriguez virtually had no motive, no incentive, I guess you could say, to win this fight other than beating the number two pound for pound guy. But based on him not making weight, he weighed in this morning at 8 a.m., I believe, part of the agreed upon discussion because he missed weight yesterday. He came in 2 pounds over the super middleweight limit, which was a problem. Then didn't even try to make the weight. He forfeited 20% of his salary. He was getting $1 million, so he ended up getting 200,000 deducted. Half of that, 100,000 goes to Andre Ward, and the other 100,000 goes to the commission. So with that in mind, he was also ineligible to even win. So even if he knocked out Andre Ward or beat him via decision or whatever the situation is, he still wouldn't have won Andre Ward's belt. So virtually, he was in there fighting in bad shape, probably dehydrated. He really didn't do himself any favors for that reason. I'm disappointed in him. I just think the biggest fight of your life, you got to capitalize and take advantage of that moment. Whether that means skipping a burger, if that means hiring a nutritionist, going up to weigh in frequently, or whatever. I mean, whatever the fuck you have to do. Get up at 4 a.m. to jog. This was the opportunity of a lifetime. And even if he somehow beat and pulled the upset and beat Andre Ward, it still wouldn't have been as meaningful because at the end of the day, he lost some of his purse and he couldn't win the belt no matter what. So the only thing he would really have is bragging rights. And people could clearly use the example or the excuse me, that, oh, he was just so much bigger than Andre Ward and Ward was off a 14-month layoff. Therefore, he got knocked out. So, strong possibility that could happen if Andre Ward wasn't on top of his game. If he wasn't as sharp, he definitely could have lost to the bigger man. But he proved why he's ranked pound for pound number two. He's that good. He comes back after a 14-month layoff and he doesn't look like a fighter who's received a long layoff. Back to Edwin Rodriguez real quick. It's funny to me that in negotiations to make this fight take place, he was complaining about the first initial offer. He wanted more money. Therefore, we thought we didn't have a fight because they didn't agree upon the salary. They thought Andre Ward was the bigger star, the bigger draw, the bigger name, had more at stake, putting his belt on the line. And Edwin Rodriguez renegotiated and got a higher salary. But it's kind of funny and ironic if you think about it because he renegotiated to get a higher salary but ended up losing 20% of his salary anyway, which I think puts him right at the amount that they initially offered him, maybe 100,000 more. I think they initially offered him 700 or 750, maybe 800,000. So with the purse deduction of 20%, that's pretty much what he negotiated to begin with. I guess it could be worse if he agreed upon the 700,000 or whatever the first offer was and had 20% of that, because then he would be losing even more money. But like I said, he didn't do himself any favors. And Andre Ward was Andre Ward. He looked like regular Andre Ward. He didn't look like he missed a step. Like I said, when the fight first started, it was weird because Edwin Rodriguez came out and bull rushed him, which is not what I expected because he was perhaps weight drained, trying to starve himself, make weight, dehydrated. But I don't know how weight drained he was. I know it had some effect on his body, but he didn't even try to make weight. So beyond that point, it's not like he did a Brandon Rios because Brandon Rios kept trying to make weight and kept trying to re-weigh in and all kinds of stuff. Mikey Garcia was puking, trying to make weight. So he just said, "Oh fuck it, let's just call it a loss and pay the fine, I guess." which was weird to me. But hey, different people handle their moment of opportunity differently. But Ward was sharp. He was vintage Ward. His jab was fucking ridiculous, and his timing and accuracy was pretty superb, especially for a fighter who's been out for 14 months. You watched other fights, even the Lamont Peterson fight, he had about the same level of layoff against Kendall Holt. He had the PEDs or testosterone, whatever you want to call it, scandal. So he was off, I think, 15 months. And he started off really rocky in the first couple of rounds, eventually stopped Kendall Holt. But Andre Ward seemed like the same Ward. The first round had some clinching in it as Rodriguez tried to overwhelm him with his power and just kind of bull rush him and just come at him. So Andre Ward being out of the game for 14 months, over a year, he had to adjust, and there was some clinching in that round. It got crazy in the fourth round when Jack Reese had to deduct 2 points from both fighters because they refused to listen. He made it very clear, he was very stern that I'll disqualify you both and nobody gets paid. He had to basically take control and restore order, so he deducted the points because they weren't listening for whatever reason. Andre Ward had trying to make a statement. Edwin Rodriguez was trying to go for the kill, and they just weren't listening. Jack Reese also said he got punched during the melee and trying to break the two up, and they just weren't listening, kept throwing punches. So he deducted a point from both. I had it really a shutout. I don't, unless you were like you went for a bathroom break or you were just being extra generous or basing your rounds based on what rounds Edwin did better, maybe. I don't see how you could really even give Edwin Rodriguez any rounds. Like I said, unless you're judging like, oh, he didn't get hit as much or he landed a body shot. I mean, that's the only way I can really picture and fathom how someone would give him rounds. Like I said, Andre Ward's jab was ridiculous. He's very sneaky and deceptive with his speed, his reflexes, his quickness. He was landing a very powerful, meaningful jab that was almost like a power punch, like a straight. It kept like a straight left or a straight right. Kept snapping Edwin Rodriguez his head back viciously, rocking it back, which is a great scoring shot. And it looked like it had some effect. It looked like Edwin Rodriguez was actually the one initiating a lot of the clinches because he wasn't used to the speed or he wasn't acclimated, or partly that, plus coupled with the fact that he didn't make weight and he just looked very fatigued and lethargic and winded. So I'm sure everything played into it. His weight issues, as well as Andre Ward's precise, fundamental, and technical ability. Andre Ward was very sharp, technically sound, and he pretty much got better as the fight wore on. First couple rounds, kind of anarchy. Jack Reese had to have some stiff, stern warnings, restore the order, get shit back. I really enjoyed Mike Tyson briefly joining the commentators and commentating. He was like, "Ooh, ooh, stiff, stiff right." That was the stiff. Like he was saying something, and I don't know. It's just good to have additional guest speaker commentators. One round, Andre Ward landed 25 out of 55 maybe, and Rodriguez landed 5 punches and only threw like 21. So to me, it was a clear cut domination by the better fighter. Like I said, Rodriguez looked winded. He kept doing something with his nose. It looked like he was trying to shoot out a snot rocket. I don't know if anyone can explain if that has something to do with the weight struggle that he had, and I don't know if it makes you shoot snot or it makes your nasal palate runny nose. I don't know what the fuck, but I noticed he kept doing it throughout the fight. I also noticed he was doing the shoulder roll or attempting to. Don't know why the fuck he was doing that. Didn't look successful, but like I said, Andre Ward with a stellar performance, especially off of a 14-month rehab of a shoulder, off of an injury, off of a long layoff. He looked stellar. He looked great body work. He kind of got away from the body work towards the end of the fight, but excellent jab, excellent timing. His left hook was there, and in the 11th round was critical. He landed a crazy, crazy, well-timed hook, I believe, in the middle of Edwin Rodriguez's punches, which is, there's little subtle things that Andre Ward does that is beautiful if you like boxing and you really respect the sport. Just little subtle things he does. There's times where he punches with you, so I don't understand why people say he's boring and he sucks or whatever they say. I think they're just hating, don't really know boxing. But he was punching with Edwin Rodriguez. Like I said, I don't think he was initiating all of the clinches. A lot of the clinches were being initiated by Edwin Rodriguez. It looked like he was trying to gather himself after he was getting caught with these sneaky, really deceptive, quick shots from Andre Ward. So beautiful performance, and I think he can only go up from here because that was off of a long layoff where other fighters show elements of ring rust, and he didn't really show too much of that. So props to Andre Ward. I'm proud to be a Bay Area resident. You made Oakland proud. Let's keep this shit going. Let me know what you guys thought of this fight. What did you see in it? Leave a comment. Let me know. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next videos, Ego signing off.